Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Divine. All right, man, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, you can hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, man, so I got some old Modern Warfare 2, a little bit of shipment, hardcore shipment, if you will. And, yeah, man, just, I had some old footage, so I figured I'll just go and whip this one on out and pause if that's worthy. And, yeah, so I just want to talk about a little bit of Modern Warfare 3 and some of the live stream that I seen yesterday. And I was able to, get a little bit of a insight on what we should be expecting on Modern Warfare 3. So, man, make sure you sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know how I do. Without further ado, let's get up into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with things that I've seen with Modern Warfare 3, man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I think this might be the Modern Warfare 3 that I am probably going to have to skip out on. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, well, who cares if you're going to skip out on it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people that are like, overly hyped about it, and like they feel as if, because they're hype about it, if they hear somebody saying that they're not hype about it, or if they say something along the lines of them not wanting to buy it, then they're wrong. And no, like, they have every right to feel like they either do or don't want to buy it. It's solely their own right. You know what I mean? Me personally, if anybody else feels the same way, please sound off. But me personally, I won't be buying it, because the only thing that I see excuse me, the only thing that I see Modern Warfare 3 being is like a $70 DLC. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, you sound like everybody else because they said the same exact thing. I mean, to be honest with you, they're not wrong. They're not far off from saying that, because 16 of the 16 of the old Modern Warfare 2 OG maps that they just remastered and made it more along the new age Call of Duty. That's cool and all, but see, the way how I work, and I know how this is going to work for me, is that as soon as I get on there, because the beta is supposed to start today, but as soon as I get on there, I already know for a fact that once I get on there and I get my feel of oh man, this is the new high rise, man. Oh man, I remember this, man. Can I do this? Oh snap. Once I get through with the nostalgia factor of the new maps, or like of the old maps that I remember, like Favela, High Rise, Skid Row, Estate, Terminal. As soon as I get through with all of the things with that, as soon as I'm done with that, then I don't really see a reason for me to play it. And I know they said they have carry forward, where all the stuff that you unlock from Modern Warfare 2 is going to Modern Warfare 3. Now that's cool and all. Now you have like 70 or so weapons if you include all the melees and the handguns and the launchers. You got about 70 to 80 weapons that are coming over, and then they said there's like 30 more that's in Modern Warfare 3, which is cool. But again, like, what's going to keep me on Modern Warfare 3? You know what I'm saying? Once I'm done with these maps, because people are going to sit there and say, oh man, these maps are so great, I'll never get tired of these maps. And that's cap. You know what I mean? You're just excited. Once that feeling of nostalgia wears off, it's going to feel like another Call of Duty game to you. That's exactly what it's going to feel like. Or at least for me, that's what it's going to feel like. Like, after I run through all of those maps and I get through my own fun, and then of course when skill-based matchmaking starts setting in, then it's just going to feel like another turn-of-the-mill Call of Duty game. And at that point, I'm not going to want to play it anymore. You know what I mean? Because it loses its luster after a while. You know what I mean? It's like, what's supposed to keep me from playing it, or keep me from not playing it, or continuously playing it? Like, what's there? Oh, the weapons. That gets old quick. Oh, the maps. Oh, they're gonna bring back other maps as well. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to remaster other maps as well. And to be honest with you, that's not enough to keep me there. You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, excuse me, with all of these excuse me. As far as I'm concerned, with all of these with these new operators and stuff like that, even that Groot skin that I cannot stand. I hate that damn skin. We'll talk about that later. But with all these skins and stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen, I no longer want to hear anybody say anything about this game being tactical. I don't want to hear it. This is a game that's far from being tactical, and they're trying to still try to implement a tactical like feel to it, but this game is just far from tactical. With these operators and these skins that y'all have, it reeks of just regular old-fashioned Call of Duty, and I'm fine with that, but it needs to lose the tactical title. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well just make it the regular old arcade Call of Duty, as pretty much that we all know of, so a few things here that I kind of want to rattle off that I want to see in Modern Warfare 3. or some things that I want to see reworked in Modern Warfare 3, or just Call of Duty in general going forward. First things first, I want to see non-solid player models, meaning that, especially like, you know, if I'm people that are going to probably play Rust or, you know, or anything that's CQB, I want player models that you can run through or walk through with no problem, because everyone knows when you're playing on shipment or anything where, like, if you're in an area where somebody's standing right there, sometimes either they'll push you, or either sometimes you're stuck in place for a second and then the game has to recognize that you're trying to go through them because they're blocking your way, and then they'll let you go through. But by that time, it's already too late. You're already gunned down already. You know what I mean? So they need to do it more along the lines of Cold War, where if you're running immediately, it pretty much just pushes you through to that person. You know what I mean? So that's just frustrating within itself right there. I can't stand that. Another thing, we need to have perks in the game, which I saw that there were perks, and they're supposed to be along the lines of like gloves, boots, and gloves, or like I think it's hands, shoes, and torso, whether it may be vest or something like that, or a helmet. I don't know, but it has something to do with what your operator has on, and that's considered a perk. But if you're gonna have perks, these perks have to be actual counters to certain things. Like, give an example. Like if you have, let's say if you got, damn, what was that one perk where, I forget the name of the perk, but it was supposed to make you pretty much like immune to flashes and stuns or anything of a non-tactical. It's supposed to pretty much make you immune to it. If it's going to be that, it needs to be a counter. You know what I mean? On Modern Warfare 2, they're pretty much like a minimizer. They don't necessarily take down, they don't necessarily make you immune to it, but they just kind of, they dim the effects of it just ever so slightly, versus you not having it on and it seems like it just takes a whole lot out of you. Like I'll say this, like you have the tear gas, right? If you don't have it on, then your guy will have to, he'll be coughing and he got to wave the gas away from him and all kinds of stuff like that, and it takes away from you having to actually concentrate on the fight. But if you put a perk on that's supposed to minimize the effects of that gas, he pretty much is just, he doesn't run through it, which I think that's stupid, because if you're running through tear gas, you should be able to still run through that. But if you got the tear gas on and that perk is on, instead of him waving his hands, he's just not able to run, and you can still fire on somebody if you got somebody in front of you. It needs to be an actual counter. There should be a counter for everything. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a trade-off system, if you will. It needs to be that. Another thing, that battle pass, you know, that battle pass really gets on my nerves, and I tell people this all the time. That battle pass is specifically set for Warzone players, because I keep going back to this point. I've done it before, and I keep saying this. Battlefield has the best battle pass system I've ever seen. I know a lot of y'all are sucking y'all teeth and blowing your breath and all that stuff. I really don't care. I really honestly do not care. Battlefield has had the best battle pass system I've ever seen. If Call of Duty ever does something like that, I would probably buy the battle pass, because the difference between Modern Warfare's battle pass and Battlefield's battle pass is that in Modern Warfare, they reward you based off of time in said mode. So that's why, if you ever notice how long those Warzone games be, where they be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, well, they seem that long. It might be a little shorter than that, but you know, those games that are extensively long, and anytime you're playing these games, that's how sometimes you're always getting like maybe two battle pass tokens every single game that you play, because they're rewarding you based off of time. They don't give it to you based off of kills or objectives or anything in any other mode that you're playing in. It's pretty much just based off of however long that match is and how much time you spent in it, and they'll give you progression on your battle pass tokens based off of that time. Now that to me is pretty much wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? On the Battlefield side, say for example, like if it's like 8 points for you to move up a tier, right? Like you're at maybe tier 10 or something like that, right? And let's say each tier is like 10 points or something like that. If you get 10 kills, we'll give you 5 points in this match. If you get 10 kills in this match, we'll give you 5 points. If you capture 3 objectives, we'll give you 4 points. Or if you revive 15 players, we'll give you 12 points, or something of that nature. And then you can progress up the battle pass system that way, because they're rewarding you for actually doing things or being active in game, playing the objective or getting kills or just being active in the game, not just sitting in there and just wasting bandwidth or eating up time. they actually reward you for playing the game, by actually doing stuff in game, not just pretty much sitting in there or just playing the match just to play it based off of how much time is in there. Hopefully I'm not losing nobody, but that's what I want the battle pass system to be. This one that we got right now, I hate to say it, but it's tuned to Warzone players. If you don't play Warzone, you might as well forget about it. But this battle pass system is garbage, and I never liked it. I never liked it, never will, and they need to change it. Another thing, it's supposed to be it's the health. The health is supposed to be 150 now. So instead of it being just regular 100, it's 150 now. So I don't really know how to feel about that. You know, I am hardwired. My ping is no higher than 10. So, you know, I should have more consistent gunfights, but at the same time though, I really hope that it doesn't turn into Black Ops 4, because Black Ops 4 was cool, but the only thing that I didn't like was the whole 150 health thing. And it made it to where, like, you know, and of course there was no health regen at that time, but you know, the 150 health thing, you know, they say it's just as the same as you having 100 health, but you know, the guns are just hit a little heavier to compensate for the extra little dose of, you know, health. But I'm trying to figure out, like, would the weapons hit any harder, you know, because of that? And then, you know what I'm saying, like, are they at base, like, okay, I don't want to confuse nobody, but like, say for example, like at regular base 100 health, right, if the gun is going to hit like it's going to hit and it'll knock it down at regular base level, with it being at 150, is the weapon more powerful, or is it just the same weak weapon but it has to chew down to 150? You get what I'm saying? Like, I hope I'm not confusing nobody. I know I said it like 2-3 times already, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really too much like the fact that people have a chance to escape if they get into a gunfight, but at the same time, you know, if I know my weapon and I know the duration of me hitting somebody, if I know that duration, hopefully I can get more of a rhythm going. Because they were saying that in the stream where, you know, with them having 150 health, and if you get to, you know your pace and know your weapon, you kind of know how long it takes for you to beam on somebody before you can, you know, before you get that kill and you can run off and go, you know, get somebody else. So I don't really know. I'm a little iffy on the 150 health, but we'll see on with the beta. Let's see what else. The one thing that I didn't really like, and this is what kind of excuse me, this is what kind of like pushed me away, dare I say, from really, like, you know, putting any money in Modern Warfare 3. They have this thing called a capture box. And it sounds very basic, but it does what the name says. What they do is, so no longer are the days where you have to have a actual body on the objective. Now you can just throw a box onto the objective, whether it be hard point, domination, or anything objective based. I don't think this, I'm searching and destroy, no, but anything we have to hold a point. It's no longer the days of you having to stand there with the actual human body and you got to watch all your surroundings. Now you can just throw a box and it'll capture it for you, and then you sit off in the corner somewhere and pick off anybody who runs up. That is the most camping shit I've ever seen or heard of in my life. I don't like that, because now what you're doing is you're instilling people and trying to disguise it as being tactical, but you're instilling in the people that, yes, we've given you a whole new way to camp. I don't like that. I don't like that. Call of Duty has always been a fast-paced shooter. So why are you adding these things that are allowing players to have a more safer way of playing said game? Like, no, you know, you already got the maps and you slap doors all along the places where it didn't have doors. You have that already, and then now to add to that fire, add fuel to that fire, you're now going to add an equipment or whatever it is, non-tactical, whatever it's supposed to be. You're going to be able to have that, and now players don't have to stand on an objective. Now they can just sit in the back somewhere while that caps it. Now I'm pretty sure you could probably blow that box up and, you know, not have to worry about it capturing it anymore, and then he got to really get on it. But it just doesn't make sense that you would add something like that to pretty much like entice players that don't really play objective based games to now have a way of playing it where they're not at risk. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. No, I think that that's a very counterintuitive idea, and as somebody who has played Call of Duty for multiple years, that's probably the most punk ass thing I've ever seen and heard. Like, that is like a very hand holding thing I've ever heard in my life, and I don't like it. I 100% do not like it. Another thing, I saw somewhere on Twitter that now Battle Rage has moved from field upgrade to now a non-tactical So, or a tactical, I'm gonna say non-lethal, but now it's a tactical. So you get 2 recharges, but the fact that, you know, it'll recharge your health, it's almost like a stem kind of sort of, it's almost like that, but you know, it immediately regenerates your health, but you get 2 charges with it. So I don't know, that there could be a potentially there could potentially be an exploit to that. I don't really know, we're just gonna have to see. But I don't know, because I see a lot of stuff that can get exploited really early, and I think that's another thing too that's kind of steering me away from actually going into really kind of going in and playing Call of Duty or even getting Call of Duty, because I just know people with the new movement, well, not new movement, but the old movement and stuff like that coming back. I just really see people being really cheesy with it, and it's almost to a point where it's like, I don't want to say game breaking, but kind of exploiting, you know. And I kind of want to end that on that note. And I just want to say, you know, to the people that are excited about Call of Duty, you know, because you're excited and you're looking forward to Call of Duty, which you do every single year, but we're not gonna get into that. When people like myself come out and they have concerns, or I don't call it complaints because it's kind of dismissive, but when people have concerns about Call of Duty, you see, not everybody is just going to accept what's given to them. If they see something that could potentially be fixed, or they could see it as being better, they have that right to speak up on it. You know what I'm saying? They've put all their time, or a lot of time, into Call of Duty, so they are just as entitled to an opinion just like you are. You know what I mean? But stop shaming people for actually having legit concerns that they feel should be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like me going in and saying, oh, because I think All Pro Football 2K8 is the best basketball, the best football game, and Madden is this, Madden is that. Somebody can disagree with that, and they actually like Madden over 2K football. That's just like me arguing them down, calling them out of their name because they don't like the same football game that I like. You see how immature that sounds? So you have to let people like what they like and dislike what they dislike. It's totally fine. There's no problem with that. There's no, oh, get good, you just can't adapt, you gotta adapt, it's not like the last one. Like, stop saying that childish shit. It's childish, corny, and played out, bro. Like, not everybody plays the same game, or not everybody plays the game the same way you do. Everybody's gonna have a different opinion about it, and it's totally fine. Just like you got one, I got one. I made a whole video on it, you know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that I appreciate all the support y'all was showing the videos, man. I really do. I just hit 1 million channel views, total channel views. I really just did that. I want to hit 6K before this year is up. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I really appreciate every last one of y'all for checking out these videos. I said at the end of every video, but I really do appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate a little support y'all showing the videos, man. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. But we're going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Divine, and I'm signing out. Peace.